Let me tell you something really important today. Success leaves clues. That's why this episode is dedicated to real stories, real people, and real lessons. If you ever found yourself thinking, can someone like me really do this? This one is for you. I'm bringing you honest and inspiring life stories of newcomer entrepreneurs who I personally met and know. They all started from scratch and built something incredible. But more than that, I want to walk you through the stories of people maybe just like you who use what they already knew to create a business and a life they are proud of. Let's get started. Having been a teacher, I love guiding my students to enhance their skills, explore their passions, and unleash their creativity. Little did I know, I was actually helping them to lay the groundwork for their own unique paths. That's why I launched this podcast, to assist you in doing the same. Marketing your niche, it's all about discovering your niche, taking action before you are ready, focusing on consistent progress, and move ahead to building a profitable online business, even if you are not sure you are doing it right. Tune in for practical advice, actionable marketing tips and strategies to build a business that brings you more freedom, more profit, even more joy. Let's get started. You've heard me say it before in previous episodes. You don't need to have it all figured out to start. Now, if you've been listening to this mini-series, you will know that we've been building a solid foundation brick by brick. Episode 1 showed you how to find your niche. Episode 2 helped you validate the idea. Episode 3 was all about choosing the right business model. And in episode 4, we talk about monetizing your niche. And episode 5 focused on breaking barriers, whether it's language, networking, or mindset. Episode 6 was your start to finish guide to launching your online business. And the last time, in episode 8, we went deep on how to balance your business and personal life in a new country. Today, we bring it all together with real-world examples. Let's start with the story of Elena. Elena is a friend of mine who came to North America with a background in early childhood education. She didn't speak fluent English, had no connections, and was trying to figure out how to start fresh at 40. After listening to podcasts, taking free online courses, and digging into what she was passionate about, she launched an online consulting business to help newcomer families support their children's learning at home. Today, she earns a steady income through coaching, sells a digital course, and even runs a small YouTube channel sharing practical parenting advice in her native language. Elena didn't wait for someone to hand her permission. She created her own opportunity. What I love most about Elena's story is how it proves that reinvention is possible at any stage of life. She didn't have perfect conditions. She didn't have flawless English or a business degree. But what she did have was the willingness to learn and the belief that her experience mattered. And that's something I want you to take in consideration. You don't have to be an expert in everything, and you don't have to have it all figured out. What you need is a starting point and the willingness to take on a small step forward. Elena's courage to share what she knew, no matter how simple it seemed, turned into something meaningful, both for her and for the families she now serves. Your skills, your story, and your journey can inspire and help other people too. Don't underestimate them. And here is the story of Arjun, a mechanical engineer from India who moved to Canada and couldn't get a job in his field. When I met him, he was very frustrated. He turned to freelancing. He started by offering 3D CAD design services on platforms like Upwork. It was slow at first, but he showed up every day, built a solid portfolio, and now, 3 years in, Arjun has clients from all over the world and teaches others how to start freelancing. His income surpassed what he would have made at a corporate job. The most powerful part? He owns his time now. Arjun's journey reminds us that sometimes the detour becomes the destination. What started out as a frustrating obstacle, being unable to work in his trained profession, ended up unlocking a path he never imagined. He learned into what he knew, adapted to a new platform, and built a life that gave him both financial freedom and personal authority. That's the kind of shift that happens when you stop chasing the perfect job and start creating your own opportunities. Arjun didn't wait for a system to validate his worth. He proved it project by project, client by client. His story is a powerful example of what happens when you stay consistent, trust your skill set, and refuse to settle. So, if you are feeling stuck or overlooked, maybe this is your moment to step out, get creative, and build something that is fully yours. You see, the common thread in these stories isn't money, connections, or some secret formula. It's grit, adaptability, and the willingness to learn and try. These are qualities that many newcomers already have because moving to a new country demands it. These stories are not exceptions, they are possibilities. And your story could be next. Now, the story of somebody you probably already know, Tony Robbins. His journey amazed me the first time I heard it, and honestly, it still gives me chills. Tony grew up in a chaotic household with very little money and a lot of emotional instability. By the time he was a teenager, he was on his own, working as a janitor and trying to figure life out. But he had this hunger for learning and self-improvement. He started listening to tapes, reading books, attending seminars, whether he could get his hands on. He didn't go to college. He didn't have connections. What he had was belief that he could change his life and help others to do the same. Fast forward a few decades, and Tony Robbins is now one of the most influential motivational speakers and life coaches in the world. He turned pain into purpose. That's what stuck with me the most. And that's the takeaway. Your past doesn't get to decide your future. Keep that in mind. Whether you are starting over in a new country, switching careers in your 40s, or just feeling lost in the noise, there is always a way forward if you are willing to show up for yourself. Tony's story isn't just about success, it's about transformation and how it's available to all of us if we are ready to commit to the work. There are so many inspiring stories just like this one, some well known, some happening quietly in your own neighborhood. And that's why we keep sharing them here. So you remember you are not alone, and so you believe deep down that success is possible for you too. And let's not forget about Bob Proctor. His story is another one that really stayed with me. Bob grew up in a working class family in Ontario, Canada, and dropped out of high school. For years, he bounced from job to job, never really finding his footing. He was broke, deeply in debt, and didn't see much hope in the future until one day, until he was handed a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book changed everything. It sparked something in him. Bob started studying the mind, success, and wealth, and he made a decision to change his life. He went from earning a few $1,000s a year to building a multi-million-dollar business. But he didn't stop there. He dedicated his entire life to teaching others how to unlock their potential, how to shift their mindset, and how to tap into the power we all have inside us. The biggest takeaway from Bob's story: success starts in your mind. It doesn't matter where you come from, what mistakes you've made, and how many times you failed. If you can change your thoughts, you can change your life. Bob used to say, "We are rich, we were born rich," meaning you already have everything you need to create the life you want. You just have to learn how to access it. His legacy is a reminder that personal growth is the fuel behind any transformation, and when you focus on developing yourself, the opportunities start showing up. His journey proves the mindset isn't just important, it's everything. What can we take away from these case studies? First, it starts with identifying what you are good at, what we covered actually in episode 1 of this mini-series of Marketing Your Niche. Whether it's education, engineering, baking, organizing, storytelling, there is a business hidden in our experience. Second, they didn't build empires overnight. They took the first step. They validated their ideas, just like we talked about in episode 2. And they stayed consistent. That's something every entrepreneur I talk to says. They kept going even when it felt slow. One powerful lesson that came up during my conversations with these entrepreneurs and also with my friends who made it through was the imposter syndrome. Many successful entrepreneurs are saying that they are still battle with it. But what they learn is this: you don't have to be the most experienced person in the room to provide value. You just need to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the person you are helping. That's how you build trust and impact. We also talk about systems. When you are building a business, you need repeatable ways to do things. Onboarding clients, managing your content, scheduling your time. One entrepreneur mentioned how creating templates saved her hours every week. She built them one by one as her business grew. Don't wait for perfection, just start documenting what works. Another theme that showed up was community. Every one of the entrepreneurs I spoke with said they found success faster when they connected with others. Whether it was a Facebook group, a local networking event, or a virtual mastermind, they all found value in talking to people who were just a bit further ahead or walking the same path. You don't have to do this alone. That's what this podcast is here for too. These conversations with entrepreneurs aren't just feel-good stories. They are roadmaps. They were filled with moments of doubt, trial and error, and small wins that added up to something big. I want you to hear this and think, if they can do it, so can I. And not just think it, you have to believe it. If this episode sparks something in you, don't let the feeling pass. Go back and listen to the rest of the series. In episode 1, we help you uncover your niche. Episode 2 taught you how to make sure your idea has an audience. Episode 3 helped you pick the right model for your lifestyle. Episode 4 was about making your skills profitable. Episode 5 broke down how to overcome barriers like language and mindset. Episode 6 walked you through launching your business. Episode 7 explained financial and legal steps. Episode 8 reminded you to take care of your health while growing. Each one was created to support you in this journey. So here's my question for you. What's one skill or experience you had that could help someone else? Comment below or message me, please. I would love to hear your story. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next guest on this podcast. Don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Share this with a friend who needs to hear that their dream is possible. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and stay in action. Your success story is waiting to be written. Bye for now.